Hi and welcome to Makeup by Mon. I'm going to be doing a get ready with me video with a smoky soft eye, and let's get started. So the first thing I'm going to do is use the Porefessional primer by Benefit. I'm just going to grab just a little bit on my finger. I'm going to push it in to my two fingers, and then I'm just going to blend right underneath my eye area. And I'm gonna get a little bit more, and I'm gonna put some right around my T-zone. All right, I'm gonna give that a second to set. The next products I'm gonna be using are the L'Oreal True Match in Sun Beige, and I'm also gonna be using CoverGirl Stay Fabulous Outlast in the color 842. I've already dampened my beauty blender, and forgive the fact that it's a little dirty, but it's definitely loved and one of my January favorites. So I'm just going to do what I normally do, dab a little bit of each color around my face. That was the L'Oreal True Match. I'm gonna do the same thing for the CoverGirl Stay Fabulous. And the reason why I do this is because I'm not one or the other color, so I find that I have to blend in order to get the right color. So I'm just dabbing it in, using the rounded side, not the pointy side, but I will use the pointy side. And I'm just, like I said, dabbing. Pretty much going everywhere, under the nose. I don't go too much under the eye because I use under eye concealer. I blend underneath the chin. Go back to the forehead. I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm patting. I'm not smearing, because if you smear, it doesn't give your makeup the best look, and you're just wasting the product, not patting it in. So with that done, that is me with just one layer of foundation. So the next step is I'm gonna be using the Rimmel True Match 2-in-1 highlighter and concealer in the color light medium. It works really well. It's more of a concealer for me than a highlighter, but I really like it. Putting it right down on my nose. I could probably get one shade lighter, but I'm not going to, because I want to make sure that I like the product first before I spend any more money. And I like the consistency. I'm using the pointed side of my beauty blender, getting right underneath the eye, right in those cracks, and going in a triangle motion, making sure everything's blended. Now I'm going to my nose, patting the nose. And that's me with concealer and with foundation. I'm just gonna go over my eyes with anything left over. And the next thing I'm gonna do is move on to my other face products. So let's get moving. The thing I'm gonna do is set my under eye concealer. I put it under my eyes, and I also put it just on the bridge of my nose. So I am taking the Bare Minerals Mineral Veil and the Real Techniques setting brush, and I'm just going right underneath my eyes, kind of in the same motion that I did my concealer, in a V motion, right down the bridge of my nose. I really like this setting powder because it's really light, and so it doesn't feel like I'm cakey or anything like that. And I really don't get, my makeup doesn't really smear anywhere else except under my eyes, because I touch my eyes a lot. I know it's bad, but totally do. So the next thing I'm going to do is use the Chocolate Soleil bronzer, and I'm using a Real Techniques multitask brush, and I'm going right underneath my cheekbone. I'm also going kind of towards my jawline. Doesn't give too much color, but it gives enough definition. I'm gonna do that one more time. I really like these Real Techniques brushes. I think they work really well and they're pretty affordable, and Ulta normally has them buy one, get one half off. So I'm moving on and I'm using my, this is a new purchase. Oh, toys can see you. Park Avenue Princess by Tarte. Ignore the camera in the background. I'm using the blush that comes in it. It's one of the Tarte new formulas that they came out with, I think last year. And it's really soft. Gives a really pretty kind of pink flushed color. And I'm also using the highlight. I just put just a bit on my brush. And I'm going right on my cheekbones. And just right on my cupid's bow. Kind of just along the center of my face. And the next thing I'm going to move on to is eyebrows. So let's get started on that. I'm gonna be using my Anastasia Brow Wiz in the color Dark Brown. And I usually don't take too much, just a little bit. My eyebrows right now, I'm actually in the process of growing out. So that's why they look a little creepy. I usually start towards the bottom. And I do not claim to be an expert at all on makeup. I just learned how to do makeup by watching other people on YouTube. So I figured if I learned by doing it, then maybe others could as well. So I'm just filling in the eyebrows. I find that this dark brown color makes them look really good. And you can see the difference just between one eyebrow and the other. I'm gonna use the spoolie and just spread everything out. So as you can see, I need to fill in just a little bit. I'm gonna do that. And there's, like I said, one eyebrow. Out. This brow pencil is the best, worth every penny. It's on everybody's like holy grails, and for good reason. Totally worth the 21 bucks it's worth at Sephora and Ulta. Next thing I'm gonna do is move on to eyes. I'm gonna prime my eyes with the Smashbox Photo Finish Lid Primer. And I'm just going to dab a little bit on my eyes. And I'm just gonna rub it in. I find that this hides I have really dark eyes for some reason. Really dark under eyes too. So this just kind of evens out the color on my eyelids. And I'm going to take the, one second, Color Stay Creamy Beige Color Tattoo in the leather collection. I got it the other day in a haul. And I'm just gonna take just a little bit on my finger, and I'm just really putting it all over the lid. This is a really good base, and it works really great for the smoky eye that I did yesterday that I wanted to recreate. It's really smooth, and the texture is nice. It blends pretty well. I'm gonna use the Naked 2 palette, so those colors will really make it pop. So that's it for the Maybelline Color Tattoo in the leather collection. Next, I'm going to use my Naked 2 palette. I'm gonna use the color Half Baked. No, I lied to you. I'm gonna use the color Tease. It's kind of a mauvey brown. I'm putting it on the e.l.f. eye defining brush, and I'm putting it just right in my crease. And I find that this is actually probably the color I use most out of this palette. I think it's a really pretty taupey brown, and I use it just to define the eyes and kind of blend it. So the next thing I'm gonna do is I have an Ion Beauty brush, and I'm going to get the color Verve. It's a really pretty kind of metallic-y silver. I'm just gonna put that over the creamy beige. Just one quick swipe. And I'm also going to do that on the other eye. I actually go downward when I put it on, which I always think is different, but I feel like it gets me the most color. And again, don't claim to be an expert, but it's a technique I use that I feel works pretty well. I'm gonna go back to that defining brush, and I'm gonna get the color Busted and just go right towards the edge. Make it go inward just to smoke out that corner. And then blend it in. I try to only use 2 to 3 brushes when I do my eyeshadow because I just, being totally honest, I'm lazy. And it's such a hassle cleaning them. If you have any good tips for cleaning, I use baby shampoo. But if you have any better tips, please let me know. So the next thing I'm going to do is grab a little bit of the blackout on this is a defining eye brush from e.l.f. and the color Blackout from the Naked palette. And I'm just gonna smear it just along the lash line. Doesn't have to be perfect at all. Just gonna go back and forth, right on the lash line. And there you can kind of see that it really gives that kind of smoky look right there in the corner. And you'll notice that it looks like I have some fallout right here, so I'll go back to that as soon as I'm done and fix that up with some concealer. I'm gonna darken this side a little more. So there you go, you can see that it gives just a little bit of smoky look right on top, and it's not using any eyeliner, it's just using the Blackout eyeshadow. So I'm gonna use whatever I have left over at the bottom of the brush and just take it down right along the lash line. Grab just a little more because I feel like I'm running out. So I'm going to move on, and forgive me for that. I'm just gonna go back and blend, 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 and blend some more. Blend a little bit more. This has just that colored tease on it. And I'm going to, I can tell that I have a little bit of fallout right underneath and kind of right in the corners. So I'm gonna go back and grab that Rimmel 2-in-1 highlighter and concealer. I'm just gonna put it right where I notice that I need it. And I have a little bit of eyeshadow, so I'm just gonna use my ring finger and just take it right there in the corner. Go right underneath. Same thing for this side. Black eyeshadow tends to be hard whenever I get it too much fallout. So it's a little harder. But that's what it is for the eyeshadow, and then I'm going to use my Tarte Lights Camera Flashes. And I really like it because the bristle is really nice. It's so many of them. And then I don't typically use a lash curler. And I'm totally just using my iPad camera right now. So let's hope that it's okay. I'm using the Melted Too Faced and Melted Berry. It's a long-lasting lip wear. It has this cool applicator. I'm not lining eyelash because I'm gonna go over a concealer if I need it. And I feel like with this product, you really have to not put on too many layers of it, because then it gets patchy. So I'm just gonna get right there in the cupid's bow. And finish up. And that's again the final look. As you can see, it's a really soft smoky eye. I'm really happy with how it came out. And if you like what you see, please subscribe to my channel and like the video. And if you have any specific tutorials that you would like to see done with any specific products, please leave a comment below and I will do it. Thank you so much for watching Makeup Eye On. See you soon. One step of the eyes, I'm gonna use this Milani Shadow Eyes 12 Hour Wear. I'm gonna use it for a highlight. And whoa! The pencil just broke. I'm really sad about this. Let's hope that it sharpens. Oh my God. Okay, moving on. Almost freaked out there for a second. So I'm going